Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
What's up, buddy?
Wow, this is the first time. I think this is the first time Tyler wasn't the very first one in. This is
Yeah,
new.
I was gonna say I think Tyler beat me, or I beat Tyler finally.
Wow. Skylar's getting his pre-show cigarette on.
I get it. I get it. I'd like to have a pre-show smoke, but cannot. So,
Oh.
yeah, that sucks. Although my wife recommended that I could smuggle her urine up my anus, so I could do that. You
You
know.
could always do that. Does she not smoke?
No, she doesn't. She's actually, so she's a nurse. She actually has her medical marijuana card, so she can, but she doesn't. But
No
she can
way.
if she wanted to. Yeah,
What are you doing?
I know.
Yeah.
What's
Oh
up?
Yeah, y'all already know what it is.
we're just twisting the knife on Sean being clean until
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
I know.
how long?
know.
When do you get tested?
I don't even know. So I assume not anytime this week. I have to wait for an email from their HR department. So I would think Monday at the earliest, but sometime next week.
Oh man, are you already starting with them?
Well, that's the thing. So he was like, "Well, you have to give your 2 weeks notice, but you better wait until your drug test comes back to give your notice." So technically, I don't start until the 18th, but that's dependent on the drug test.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah. When's the last
So,
time you smoked?
oh, like Tuesday. So,
Yeah, I would say
oops.
you probably your best bet is going to be you might need to dilute the sample. But have you
Yeah,
read much about that?
I did. Like that was the first thing I did when they said they were going to. So like, I'd rather have a diluted sample than like a dead ringer.
Yeah.
So probably that and just a lot of detox and a lot of sweat at the gym. So
Yeah, yeah, do that on the build up and then yeah, 3 days or so start eating getting a little bit more
chowing back
yeah,
down.
mobile. Yeah. And, the creatine and the I think it's B12 is kind of a big deal because then I don't know, some of them test differently. Some of them test for gravity in the fluid, and the creatine
uh,
helps with that. But
Damn.
Gotcha.
B12 will be mostly for color. So that the
Damn.
ladies
Did
can
you go
like
to
you
you
just
go to weed college?
I
Oh,
did well no,
Yeah,
I've
right.
applied for a lot of jobs.
Jesus.
I've worried a lot.
It's the
I
product of a
take
lot of Google searches right there.
Shit,
right.
man, every single Yahoo answers is purple on my Google search. If you look, I've already
Damn.
clicked. It's like, yeah, it's like pregnancy questions when I went to college.
Smart though. It's good. That's why I came right to you guys. You're the first ones I asked.
Yeah. Nothing's foolproof, but it's better than spending
Sure.
$80 on some detox bullshit at the head shop that doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Up my gain a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I'm not seems like I'm loud. I was loud as fuck last time, you said.
Oh yeah, if you have your audio coming, or do you have it coming through your headphones and your speakers?
No.
Oh wow, maybe
I'm
it's
just
just
I'm just really fucking loud.
no. It was
I,
it
I
was
was
like it was an echo on your side, and
I was born without an inside voice.
no, it was one of us would say something, and then like half a second later, you could hear a little bit of it in your audio, just on your
That's
track. I don't know how that's
weird.
happening if you don't have anything. Oh, that's weird. I don't know. It wasn't that bad. It was just one of those things.
Well, hopefully, it won't happen this time.
Damn it! Our standards must not sink.
Yeah, so we want to win some. We want to be up for like best wrestling podcast of the
Oh yeah.
year.
Oh, that's one thing. At the end, you can always do the little administrative, look at our Facebook. I'm gonna talk about the shoot show hotline, but we need to give a little shout out to One Fall Show because they've threw a few at us a couple times.
Yeah, for
But
sure. Yeah, I forget about that in the push to be like, oh fuck Matthew.
yeah,
Forget about
I
forget about
think they're so
Sean.
stranded with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they're both pretty cool people, and I've been talking to at least Sean. I don't know the other dude all that well, but I've been talking to Sean for a little while.
Mr. Beans.
Yeah, I don't know him as well as I know Sean.
They do the pseudonym thing. That's weird. so many people are so secretive on podcasts. Like some friends of mine that have a podcast in Dallas, they always use only first names, and like they if they're talking about somebody else, sometimes they've bleeped talking about names. I don't give a shit what I have aired out on a podcast.
Yeah, no doubt.
Fucking bring it.
Hey, what's that? What's the podcast that Matt Rhea does? I think Tyler, you listened to it a little bit.
Was it Body Slam? That's the only other one I know about.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of.
Maybe, I don't know. He posted a link to the group, and I didn't know what it was, but I figured it was his. But it might be that one. Because they reviewed another pay-per-view too.
Who the fuck do they think they are?
Well,
exactly.
I think they've been doing it before we did, actually.
Oh well.
Oh,
If it's Body Slam that we're talking about, I don't know. I had to tap out on them because somebody kept burping. Somebody just kept burping into the mic, and it was like a running gag. And I'm like, this is one I don't like. I mean, they're kind of fun. I enjoy their Midwest accents more than anything. He's like, a lot of them go, ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's not good.
Oh, no. God, I love tacos.
Like Bobby's World's mom.
Yeah. That's Howie Mandel. Yeah, well, yeah. So something like that, like I could do a thing where instead of like burping into the mic, I could like scream Zazzle and shoot off fireworks.
Zazzle.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. Zazzle.
And just light sparklers, and you can just hear the
scream Zazzle.
That's my thing.
So why does he scream Zazzle? Oh no, don't worry, that's his thing.
Yeah.
Bikes.
It's my gimmick. It'd be like, if you don't get it, well, that's on you. So definitely, like, it's interesting. This one will be us discussing like actually the caliber of matches and this shit, as opposed to just like, did you see the crazy retards in the crowd?
Oh no, I'll still be talking about that.
Oh, I wrote down a bunch of signs. I was laughing. The signs are killing me. Like 90s wrestling signs are fucking hilarious. Hey.
Oh, sorry that took so long, guys.
So good.
I started texting someone. I'm all stoned, and I was like, "Oh shit, I have something to do."
Big.
Right.
So
Let's
as
get
far
our
as
clap
like
on.
Natural, yeah, we can get a clap. Tyler,
wait,
how
I'm
do
gonna
you
open
feel
my
about
desk.
just kind of helming like you're good at keeping us on task. I've noticed that.
Yeah,
I nominate Tyler.
Well, as far as you sound like you take good notes, and I was just
For
looking
real.
at mine, and I'm scattered as shit. Like
Right.
some of this, I was very
Me too.
high for. I don't
Me too.
I took so many notes for Edge and Jeff Jarrett, and then like nothing for Stone Cold and
Oh
Undertaker.
God! Yeah, that's
because you were just watching in awe.
Yep.
I was like, "This is his first singles title run, and it lasted a day."
Yeah. And from a house show too.
Yeah. So does somebody else want to do the intro? I think I did the intro last week.
I nominate
There it is.
Skylar.
I can't
I
remember
swear
who
I've
did
done
it.
it recently.
I'm pretty sure I did the intro last week.
You
I did it like 2 episodes ago.
Oh,
Someone's
yeah.
trying to get
Whoever
themselves out of doing it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'll take her on.
There you go.
All right, so we're gonna hit record.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Let me get my. Whoa, wait,
Record
mine's
later.
been going.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Good.
Michelle's got to hit the bong first before I start.
Oh, it's from the bong. I wish I
Pouring
knew
out
more
for
of
me.
that song.
Yeah. Took one up. That's for Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, you got gotta stay clean.
All right, everybody get their audio up.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait.
Nailed it. Was that another clap?
That better be a non-alcoholic beverage.
It's a Red Bull. Don't you worry.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me make sure. I've had something.
Wait,
I had a
check
window
this
up
out.
that had like
Ryan's got to make sure he gets his pants all the way off.
Oh, yeah, man.
Can't have
Well,
it
I
around the
can't find
ankles. See?
Nah,
Damn.
fully loaded.
Where I put it. Fuck.
They had the theme song for Fully Loaded. Did you anybody hear the theme song?
Oh,
just
God.
sounded like
I didn't take any
90s.
good notes on
I
it.
can't even remember. Yeah.
It sounded like Prodigy. It sounded like an old ass Prodigy. It was just like industrial techno.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Bland.
It's almost like a completely different. I don't know. Watching things from the 90s, I'm all like, damn, it was such a different time.
Well, yeah, for sure. Like it's and it was a nice change of pace to watch one that I wasn't like, oh Jesus, here comes this steaming pile of shit. And
I was watching like some Woodstock 99 footage, and I was like, people were so angry then. Why aren't we angry?
because Korn broke up.
And Rage Against the Machine. System of a Down.
They were raging. That's what it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
All right, guys. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again back to the Shoot Show. My name is Ryan Clare, and I'm loaded. I'm fully loaded, loaded to the gills, ready to talk about 1999's spectacular event, Fully Loaded. Joining me is the Double T himself, Tyler Toops.
It's a great night.
It is a great night. Also, Sean Rosenthal.
Hey, I'm just gonna get out of the way. Heidenreich was the very best.
Oh God!
I was going to say something about
you
Hyde.
scoundrel! You scoundrel!
Okay, fine. Go on.
Stepping on all the toes. You gotta build to it, man. We're a fine lady. You don't just
All right.
bust the
All right.
Heidenreich right out the gate.
My goodness.
And before we get too distracted, we can't forget our lovable own Skylar Blank.
Vince McMahon, I know you're listening. If you ever cock tease me again with Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe and then don't follow through, you're going to meet the Booty Man and Heidenreich. That's the name of my fist.
Whoa.
Oh my
Whoa.
God! What
Oh
a duo!
Lord.
Vinny Mac, listener number 7.
Booty Man and Heidenreich.
It's a double whammy.
Man, yeah. As I saw that little tease going on this week, I knew that in the flat plains of Oklahoma there shrieked a cry. the coyotes scurried away.
Yeah, well, I was the one who was watching it going, okay, guys, you need to turn this on because it's about to go down, and then it did not go down.
To go down, but
It went away.
didn't.
Yeah, a different preposition.
Oh man, but yeah, as we've alluded to today, we're talking about WWF, WWE,
WWF.
Let's just call it WWF for old
The
times.
F in.
They had quite a little program in 1999. They called it Fully Loaded.
Ah, it's
And-
so great.
Damn, what an experience! Last time, if you caught the last episode, we reviewed WCW's just. Oh God, Tire Fire seems too.
Yeah.
It was
Open air debris garden.
There you go. That was nice, almost euphemistic. It was hog wild, and we were really just distracted the entire time by the spectacle of it and just the chaos. But this time, damn it, we stepped just shin deep into the Attitude Era, and I liked what I stepped in. to be
Yeah.
honest.
Yes, this was Sean's choice. Credit to Sean for this one.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
this is
all the
my
props.
favorite pay-per-view as a kid. My buddy had rented the VHS tape of this pay-per-view from Blockbuster and never returned it. So we watched it pretty much every weekend. So it was great to relive that.
Nice.
Breaking the law, breaking the law.
R.I.P. Blockbuster.
That's so great, man. I watched a lot of old pay-per-views on tape because my dad worked for a cable company and he could tape the pay-per-views as they happened in the break room.
Oh,
And
man.
the only thing you're subject to some asshole coming in the break room and changing the channel. So there were many times that I was in the middle of some life shit, and the guy comes up. And
Cuts
so-
away to an episode of Mama's House.
Yeah,
Mom's Family.
no, it'd be like Sally Jesse Raphael or something.
Oh,
And and the thing was, you never know.
red hair.
Sometimes they would remember or they would realize it and they'd be like, oh shit, somebody's recording. And they would put it back. Sometimes they wouldn't. So I would just be sitting there like just crestfallen, learning about some lady's life on Sally Jesse Raphael when maybe wrestling's coming back. Let's
Yeah,
stick
I
around.
like that you didn't notice that it happened, and you're just like, this match is pretty fucking weird. This is the weirdest lead up I've ever seen.
Weird promo package.
Well, really, it didn't. As about the time I was watching, it wasn't that far apart from daytime television. It was, custody battles and people were cheating on one another. It was not that different.
This was
One of my
this
favorite
was
feuds.
definitely the opposite end of the spectrum in quality.
Oh man, about halfway through this, my girlfriend says to me, "Wrestling sucks compared to how it used to be. What happened?"
It's
And
so,
I-
it
yeah,
used to be
we
so
asked
dirty.
those- We all wake up and just ask that to our ceilings every morning.
I tell people when people ask me, I sometimes ask me about it. I say I don't watch it because it's always good. I watch it because sometimes it's great.
yep.
Yeah.
That's
You-
that's so accurate. It like
Yeah,
you
sure.
sift through the cheese.
This was
You wait
this
for
was,
those moments.
this was July 25th, 1999. Fully
Mm.
Loaded took place
Yeah.
in
Year of our Lord.
Buffalo, New York.
Glorious summer.
We
I was 7 years old.
We got 9 matches on the card here.
Yeah, man,
So
it was.
First
stacked
thing,
up.
like, yeah, like, and even like the opening, like just that opening video package was just amazing. Like the opening for Hog Wild was just
I wrote loving the intro so much.
It highlights that they're building this main event from even before this pay-per-view starts. Like they're building and building. That's the main event is so well built towards. That's like my favorite part about this pay-per-view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one thing. Is all kind of played in together. The results of some matches would bleed into other matches. People were angry and they were intervening. It was so organic the entire show. And I don't know. It just made current pay-per-views kind of look like a collage. You just have
Right.
different stories stuck together. Whereas, I mean, I don't know. I thought that I would be more affected by just nostalgia than I was.
yep.
I was like, shit, just the promos, the vignettes, the cutaways, like this is fun to watch. There's not the awkward, weird staleness that sometimes comes in current WWE.
Yeah, like I gotta agree. Like it was refreshing, and I couldn't tell if it was that nostalgia or if it was just genuinely that good. And it's probably a little bit of both, but it was just awesome to watch.
Yeah, it's got really good pacing. I think like I said, how well they build it. I mean, the big story here is that Austin and Undertaker are in a first blood match for the main event. But before the pay-per-view even starts, the Undertaker has jumped Austin, and Austin's already bladed and bleeding. So even going into this, it's like, man, Austin's already cut. So you spend this, even at the beginning of the pay-per-view, they're already doing a good job of building towards the main event.
Which is a great technique they did for the finish, and we'll get into that later. But
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
set the groundwork here really well.
yeah, they really did.
But we kick off with
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett versus Edge.
Even before that, fuck guys, pyro. Like
Yes, the
holy
pyro was
shit.
great. The pyro was great.
Hazy.
Yeah.
It used to be.
Like I didn't know how much I missed it until I started seeing it, and I was like, "Oh my god!" This whenever I went to a live show and there was pyro, I was fucking pumped.
Yeah,
Like,
it
man.
went all out here.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for spectacle. Like
Me
that,
too.
that wins me. Like
Yeah.
I want to see pretty flashing lights. I want loud noises. Just dazzle me, Vince. But
Color Ryan dazzled.
This-
one thing I noticed was Deborah.
Oh my goodness!
How
I just wrote Deborah's outfit. Yikes!
Oh goodness.
I wrote
Yeah,
Edge is so young and handsome.
that's what I said. The camera kept going back to Deborah. I was like, get it off Deborah. Put it back on Edge.
Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Jesus, that man, he looked like I know
His
he
teeth
was
were so
part of
white.
the Brood, but he looked just like a sexy vampire, and I was all about it.
So Edge had won this Intercontinental belt the night before, and it's kind of funny that he this is one that they had change hands on a house show, so he was defending this pretty quickly against Jeff Jarrett.
Yeah,
he went from like being part of the Brood to like, oh yeah, now I'm Intercontinental Champion. Like, oh, that's
Briefly.
a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed that Jeff Jarrett's and Edge's big beef is that Jeff Jarrett thinks he's the best Intercontinental champ ever, and Edge clearly disagrees. That's what I took away.
In that 1 day buildup.
Yeah.
Jeff Jarrett comes out and
Bucks
basically
look like
says
Latter
that.
Day.
That's kind of what he says. He's just like, and Edge is like, well, that's not what I'm down with at all, and we're gonna have a match.
Jeff Jarrett does a great Ric Flair type strut. I was always a fan of that.
It always looked weird to me because he's trying to be like Ric Flair, and I was like, "You're not Ric Flair."
I think Jeff Jarrett was the first time that that I appreciated like heel work. Like I never liked him, and then I finally started to realize like, oh, that's like a shtick. Like I think he was the first one because I fucking hated him, and I think that was the first time it really dawned on me like, oh, okay.
Jeff Jarrett
supposed to hate him.
Yeah.
Not hard to hate him at all.
Yeah, true. He is a turd. So,
and one thing I noticed in this match that I keep looking for in current wrestling is a good sleeper hold spot. Irish whip into a sleeper hold with not just the one, what they're giving Samoa Joe, the raise the arm, fall down, he's out, ring the bell. I want 1, 2, 3. I want 2 floppy arms. And then I want him to raise that arm the third time. And then, he's got it. Oh, God, he's still in it. And then I love that. And I always have. And there was Jeff Jarrett put one on Edge, and Edge tried to give him one back, but it didn't happen.
Yep. I noticed that too. And I missed it too. Like they just don't do it anymore. And I don't know why. Maybe they think it's too slow and boring, but it's great. That last arm drop and he starts shaking and hulking up. It never fails.
You know it's coming. It's not the finish, but it's still fun.
Yeah.
King had a great line in here when he was talking about Edge being from Canada, and he said that the opening day of Moose season is a national holiday in Canada.
Shit.
He gets such great one-liners in. He and JR both have such awesome lines throughout this.
Oh yeah, they had a great night together.
What the hell kind of name is Mr. Ass?
For a competitor. I mean, come on. Mr. Ass.
He's like a Hank Hill type analog. He's like a real life Hank Hill.
They call him Mr. Ass.
Oh, Mr. Ass.
Oh. That's great. But, now everyone just go around the table with their Hank Hill. I'd avoid it. You can't not. If somebody does the Hank Hill, you got to get
it.
There you go. Oh God!
Is that contagious?
It's like a yawning.
Yeah.
So what was our finish in the first one?
That is Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett going over Edge in 13 minutes and 20 seconds.
Well, there was the fallout from Edge leaving the Brood, wasn't it? It was very new.
Guys, Gangrel came out and
Gangrel showed up and got his ass
beat in the dark.
Mysteriously, yeah.
And then
JR was all like, "Who is it?" And it was like Gangrel's music playing and everything, and you could like kind of see it was Gangrel.
I wonder what vaguely chubby blonde guy in a billowy shirt that could be.
I like the spots when the women will get up on the turnbuckle and just kind of be like, "Hey, check these out," and then the other wrestlers just turns into a zombie, just a boob zombie.
And like that blew my mind. So Deborah gets on the apron, and like Earl Hebner like gets up to her and like, "Oh, I'm so distracted," but in front of him, he can see himself on the Titantron. Like Edge getting up, and like is he just supposed to pretend like he can't see what the shenanigans behind him? Like,
nah, you don't see that.
Looking at them titties.
Yeah, there you go.
he was asking her if she's okay. You look like you're in pain, ma'am. Are you all right?
Damn,
you
what-
need to
you don't belong
bleed
on
those
the
like
ring apron,
sausages. You
Michelle.
got to poke a hole in them. Good
You're gonna have
God.
to get down. They were insistent upon themselves.
I was worried. Like, it can't be safe to perform with those are liabilities.
Edge had a really good spear.
No,
Yeah.
I like that. when
unpopular
Jeff
opinion.
Jarrett was- Huh?
I don't know. Edge had a good spear. He always had the funniest looking spear I've ever seen.
He kind of went sideways, right?
Yeah.
It
I
was
think he
it was like a slow motion hug. It was he would kind of like wrestle you to the ground. Like it wasn't like it was we're gonna thump to the ground. It wasn't. I mean, I think Roman Reigns might have a better spear than Edge. I love Edge, but I've always thought that this spear just.
Well, yeah,
was
Roman's just a thicker dude. I think it's a more of a move built for a bigger guy. I mean, he's not really built to do it. I'll agree
Yeah,
with
I
that.
think that's it's. There's not a whole lot of momentum.
Yeah, it's like a football move, and he's not really like
Edge
he's more like a kicker.
Yeah, yeah, he's a wider. Yeah, he is Tweeter from Varsity Blues, if I've ever seen him. But yeah, when he hits, it's just like all motion ceases and they just hit the mat. But Goldberg
never
used to just give people whiplash.
Right. I never thought after like this match, I watched this match a lot, and like especially after like the Brood and Edge and Crit, like I never thought that Edge would be such a big singles competitor, which is why I was so confused why he had the IC belt. But I mean, obviously he proved us wrong, but I just never saw him as that until he got his time to shine. But especially like in this event, I always wondered why Edge? Like it just seems random.
Well, yeah, and especially when they're just like, oh, and he's the IC champ. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah. It felt weird. But the bloodbath though, I missed the fuck out of those.
The real ending of this match was Stone Cold coming in and giving everyone a stunner.
Oh man!
And cutting a great promo on Undertaker where he says that he's on his way back to find your big dead ass.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna bust you open, big dead son of a bitch.
I'm gonna find your big dead ass. and off he goes. Off he goes on his way, and on to the on to the next match. Hilariously.
That would have been a funny in present day, a funny little thing to put up on YouTube. Just Stone Cold searching for the Undertaker backstage. You in here? Where are you at?
Yeah. I wish I knew this place better.
You can find the Undertaker on Instagram now, so kayfabe is officially dead.
He's got one post.
Yeah.
And 85,000 followers already.
But
At least when I looked this morning, he's probably got twice that now.
It isn't he in his wife's posts though? That seems worse to me. That you're just kind of around.
How hard do you think he fought that for a while? He was like, no!
Be on Instagram.
At least he's not tweeting.
She's finally like, fine.
He's only got a few filters that he's okay with. No Hefe. Sierra only.
So yeah, that was the first match, and already it's been better than the entire card of Hog Wild. So,
I mean, we had Ric Flair and Eddie Guerrero. Come on,
Scott Steiner, brother.
At least give us a few matches before we claim that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Acolytes versus the Hardy Boys.
And Michael Hayes.
Man, and Michael Hayes in a ridiculous 2.5 on 2 match.
See, I'm
trip pants.
No way Michael Hayes counts as a full person.
I'm just not real familiar with Michael Hayes. Like Michelle, my girlfriend, she said, "Is that their dad?"
He's the guy that drives them to the raves.
The wrestling dad, that's for sure.
I don't remember him being such a big part of the Hardys, and every time I go back and watch something like old with them, there he fucking is. I'm
their
like, I don't
manager
remember
for sure.
him. Yeah. And he, for some reason, had to dress like them.
I like how they include him in this match. They're just like, yeah, fuck it, yeah, your grandpa can be in too. We don't give a shit. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
hey, Michael, you busy?
The story of this match, man, the Acolytes are stiff as shit.
I was gonna say,
oh,
JBL never. I mean, he never was real gentle, but he's always that way. Like he didn't just become really stiff.
This is 3 months after the Acolytes fought Public Enemy, if anybody remembers that match, where they absolutely beat the brakes off of those dudes, and they never wrestled in WWF again. They came in, got destroyed, and were gone.
Was that at a pay-per-view?
No,
It
I
was
think that
on
was Sunday Night Heat. Actually, it was March 7th night.
Oh. Wow.
So yeah, it's a great if you can go back if you can find the footage, man. I mean, it's like a street fight.
Oof.
Public Enemy came in kind of swinging clout from WC or ECW, thinking they were hot shit, and that did not sit well with anybody.
Oh, God. I wouldn't want to have problems with JBL and I keep calling him JBL,
Ron.
Bradshaw, whatever. In the ring.
And Ron Simmons.
Yeah,
no doubt, man. I mean, and I don't even think they have a problem with the Hardys, but they are just dismantling them here. This is power versus speed.
Yeah, I one nasty spine buster from Farouk just kind of caught my attention. Man, it was just unkind, is what it was.
This really, really good match. This was a match that just held my attention from start to finish.
It was a tag team. It was a 3-on-2, no disqualifications. What's the point in having a no disqualifications tag team match? Shouldn't they just all be Tornado? Like, everybody's in the ring all the time. Why is anybody following the rules?
Yeah, they didn't use the string to tag in.
Nope.
Yeah, when it's no DQ, what are you gonna do? Like, who cares?
True.
Man, but
I also started thinking like Ron Simmons and Bradshaw's career, like at this point, like they were together, but after this, they went like complete opposite. Like Ron had already won, the heavyweight championship, and then he went to a tag team and then kind of fell off. Whereas Bradshaw, was in the tag team and then went on to glory. Like it was an odd dynamic to really think back and like see how far Ron would fall and then see how much JBL would go up to the top of the tier.
Yeah, well, and Ron was
already
getting
getting old, though.
Yeah, Ron was kind of at the decline where I think JBO was on his kind of ascension for sure.
Yep.
Like Ron had his whole WCW run. What was the tag team he was in WCW?
Oh God, I can't remember.
It was great. I liked him in WCW. I remember him from back in those days.
Yeah, he was the first ever African American champ.
Him and Teddy Long was the manager of their group.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, now I can't remember what that was.
I've only seen pictures.
Was it Doom? It was Doom.
Doom.
Such a weird, not what I was thinking at all.
That's older. That's back in the National Wrestling Alliance. I tried to sneak in there with a quick Google.
I didn't even hear the keys.
But yeah, it was a great match. It was fun to watch them go at it again.
The Hardys are hitting spots like crazy. I mean, and at one point Jeff goes out hard outside of the ring, and you can hear him yell, "Oh shit!" really loud.
Shit like that is why he has to land on people for the Swanton now. He can't land on his tailbone anymore.
They were hitting so hard.
There was a lot of audible profanity from the ring. At one point they had to just rein it in. I don't know when, but there were F-bombs left and right. Triple H, when he was in the ring later on, he was just basically might as well just had the microphone on him. Exactly what he was saying. It was none too kind.
Oh yeah. And then Stone Cold gets a great, "Oh, you got that shit right." Yeah, the Acolytes beat the Hardys here. They just absolutely clobber them for 11 minutes to win the tag belts from them.
Yeah, it was not an even match in any way.
Like how they suggest that the handicap had absolutely no help. No benefit.
Nothing.
Next up, we have one of my favorites, D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo
I
Brown
can't
versus
even
Midian
explain.
for the European title.
Yeah, Midian. I can't even explain the
Midian.
happiness I felt when I saw D'Lo Brown.
And this is
right.
his head shake is just it's one of my it's
So
so great.
good.
He had the perfect swagger. The funny story behind this match is that the European title had been retired for a few months, and Midian found it in Shane McMahon's duffel bag, and Shane just let him have it, and that's why he's the European champion here. So you have the first match, you have a guy who won the title last night, and then this one was a guy who just found that shit in a duffel bag.
Wow.
Yep.
I did not know.
Yeah, I don't know what Midian's like gimmick was. I guess he's supposed to be like scary.
Yeah.
But how
He was
old he looked
creepy.
and how just out of shape he looked scared me more than whatever the fuck his gimmick was.
And
most-
his sneaky
most of-
Confederate flag tattoo.
Yes,
Yeah.
the most
Big Boss
offensive
Man
part
had one
about him
too.
is his dumb mall airbrushed shirt. That it looked like I
Yeah.
want to see what he looked like waiting in line behind the girl getting the thug Bugs Bunny on her shirt. He was like, "Yeah, my name's
Tasmanian
Midian.
Devil.
Can you get that? Yeah, I got a weird eye kind of thing on the front, and then Midian down the right leg. It
I
looks
want a Tweety Bird saying class of question marks.
Was
I
this
think
Snitch
before or
gets
after
stitched.
Naked Midian?
this is before. I think this is right. This is not too long after he was in the Godwins. I think when he was like
Oh, he was in the Godwins?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
like
Shit.
Phineas Godwin, wasn't he? He was one of the
Nice.
Godwins.
Yeah. So
Man,
like
I didn't know that.
I always thought he was like super fucking old, and I was just like, why are they putting this 90-year-old guy in the ring? I went back at the time of this pay-per-view, fucker was only 31.
No, he wasn't. He was
31.
Yikes!
Yeah.
31 in fucking dog years. That's
31. I could not believe I shit myself. 31. I couldn't believe it.
I want to know
No
what
way.
drugs he's taking.
Yeah, I want to
Like,
hear the
warn the children.
stories. If a
Like,
face could
whatever-
talk.
Yeah, whatever happiness you're borrowing from your future, just keep it there. Don't take it, because Midian's looking rough at 31.
He
I-
really yeah. I never thought he was like an actual wrestler. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing? But yeah,
But,
31.
Local
But
competitor
D'Lo.
from parts unknown.
But D'Lo is great. D'Lo was always one of my favorites.
Jesus,
Yeah.
D'Lo Brown. I didn't get enough D'Lo when I was growing up, but from what I have seen, I've always enjoyed him. And when I saw him pop up, it's like I can't even really place a lot of the things about him that I love, like as far as like exact matches and everything. I've always loved his persona, the way he moves, and that perfect frog splash, which I'll get into.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
But he's got that just instant charisma. You look at his face, and for some reason you want to like him, and then he gets to talking, and you're just having fun listening to him, and he's not even in the ring. There was a guy in the crowd. I think he was in the front row. Guy in a blue jersey.
Yeah,
he
and
was
his buddy
enjoying-
next to him in the wife beater.
Oh man, he was loving
yes.
some D'Lo.
They kept
He was-
high fiving and shit during the
Yeah,
show.
they were so happy. Every time D'Lo Brown shook his head, this guy shook his head. It brought me so much happiness.
On D'Lo's
And you know what
first
was nice?
run-
You know what was nice about those fans? Sorry, but the like it was so great not seeing super fans in the front row.
Oh,
Like I didn't have to
no.
look the same long-faced asshole or fucking Brock Lesnar guy. Like it was just normal people.
Yeah,
I
no
haven't seen
doubt.
them in a month since I haven't watched wrestling in a month.
They're still there.
I believe it.
But when D'Lo was European champion for the first time, one of the things that I liked was that each time he would come out, they would announce that he was from some different place in Europe. It's like a real long running gimmick. Here comes from he's from Luxembourg now. Oh, hold on a second. Like
Yeah. Born and raised
Yeah,
Estonia.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And he's gonna be from Slovakia next week. Yeah, this was another like not a bad match, not as good as the one before it, but still good.
D'Lo carried it definitely.
Agreed.
He was over as fuck too.
Yeah,
Oh
D'Lo.
God!
He
when
goes
he
over
climbed
there.
to the top for that 5-star, man, that
Yeah.
frog splash, I forgot how deep it was.
Yeah,
he-
it was like fingers to one side, fingers to the other side, head shake. I mean, I remembered that swag so much.
His elbow
Yeah.
hits his crotch. He goes so deep with the wind up. I don't know what you call it when you're making the frog. That's what I'm gonna call it. You make the frog, and he makes the frog deep.
That's what
This
you
is
kids
so
call it
weird
these
to me
days.
because I've never cared about D'Lo ever.
No
I don't
way.
know why. I just never did.
Even
Even in,
playing
like-
like old video games, like
Yeah, no.
coming up.
No.
His taunt is still in video games. I think I think the head shake is still in.
I'm doing it
Gotta
right
be, it
now.
better be.
Oh yeah, I did it while I was talking about it. That's why my audio is probably shaky as shit. My microphone cords banging against my mic stand. It's a travesty. I'm having
But yeah,
Worth it.
D'Lo goes over here in 7 minutes, winning the European title. This This is the third match and the third belt that's changed hands.
Yeah, when that happened, that's what I said. I was like, this is 3 for 3 right now. And then I think King said, that's the third title change we had tonight. Okay, there it is.
And, the match with D'Lo, who I like, leads us into another match with someone I really, really like, which I like the Big Boss Man, but I love Al Snow.
God,
Big Boss Man versus Al Snow. I've always been a fan of Al
The
Snow.
promo was the weird. So I wrote down in my notes, conversely, Hog Wild was better than all of Al Snow's promo. I love Al Snow. I love Al Snow, but what the fuck was that promo?
That was great. I wrote Snow is a fucking loon.
Man, he played that character, and it's just, and the thing about it is to know like how smart he is and how well spoken he is, and that he knew that character and he ran with it. I appreciate him for that.
Oh man, yeah, I had forgotten the whole head gimmick, and the moment that his music hit. What does everybody want? And the crowd is head.
I love the people in the crowd that had heads with them. It's great. This is a hardcore match, so obviously they spend as little time in the ring as possible.
They didn't get in the ring at all.
Yep.
Oh, did they not even get it? Okay.
No. Al
Did
Snow
they
did
not
for his
even
entrance. No, because Al Snow ran up to Big Boss Man while he was doing his
Yeah, it's true.
entrance.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, you're right.
"Hey,
They didn't even make it into the ring.
Yeah, that was a constantly evolve. At the very beginning, Boss Man was kind of no selling him and no selling Snow, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? Once they got back into like craft services, I guess, like, it just got really fun though.
I think that I liked when the Boss Man hit him with the fourth down or the down marker,
Yeah.
and then they called it the fourth down kick, and then King said, I think you should have went for it. And then they went from that spot to a spot with a golf cart that the Boss Man couldn't get to start.
That was
Oh,
fucking
man.
great.
That was interesting because as soon as he jumped on it, my first thought was like, dude, I never trust those things. There's always you got to push a pedal and then turn the key, or you turn
That
the
was
key.
like
then push
a
the pedal.
that was like a 3-wheel like Ernest Goes to Camp
looked
go
like-
kart though.
It looked like the thing Austin Powers got stuck sideways in the
Yeah,
hallway
yeah.
and couldn't turn it around.
Yeah,
But
yeah. The no
something
kart.
something really interesting there is that was going to be a spot. They were going to turn it on, run into
Yes.
Snow, but it wouldn't start. Al Snow gives him a couple seconds to like, okay, this is kind of your last chance. He doesn't linger there for a weird amount of time and make it into a cheesy, oh God, of course he's going to stay there for it. I think he saw that this was not going to happen. Let's not linger. He moves immediately over to a potted plant, rips it up, and beats Big Boss Man.
As you do.
That's one of those things that I don't know. It's sort of that kind of experience and awareness to kind of take charge and was like, well, this would have been a cool, fun spot, but we're not going to do it anymore. The moment has passed. And
Yeah,
I really
definitely.
like that.
Definitely. I think there was a point where Boss Man took his belt off, but then he clearly still had a belt on. So I don't know what the hell he took off. I don't know if he had 2 belts on.
That's why they call him two belts.
Oh, 2 belts, Boss Man.
Old two belts. Do you think that coffee was hot that he threw on? He threw the big carafe of coffee on him.
It was when he grabbed him and said, "How does it feel?" And Al Snow went, "Stupid question," and started hitting him back.
Oh no, definitely. My favorite moment of the match was when they made their way outside in the parking structure. They might have gone farther than that, but they're up against a chain link fence. There's a sign on it that says "Private property, no trespassing." Big Boss Man does him the courtesy of reading the sign for him before smashing his hand into it. The private property, no trespassing. Bam!
You see that, boy? Yeah,
It
that
was
was great. They fought across a street when somebody drove by that I do not think was a plant. It was just an angry person honking their horn at him.
What a thing to witness.
Yeah. And then like Boss Man handcuffs Al Snow to a chain link fence. Or not a chain link fence, just a regular fence, like a metal fence. And then just kind of puts his foot on him and they count that as a pin.
Yeah,
That was
it
real weird to me.
I thought, yeah, that was my note. Big Boss Man wins by weird pin.
Yeah, I was like,
Wasn't really a pin, but I'm glad it was ending because Al Snow was sort of like frothing at the mouth and like drooling and stuff, and was let's get off of this. I've had my fill.
And then Boss Man does a great big man kind of fast, slow jog all the way back to the ring.
Nah, it's no Braun Strowman jog.
He did the just power walk
Braun
back to
Strowman's
the
got
ring.
the hustle.
They just wrestled for like 50. They were so winded before they even got outside. Down the hallway, they were like,
Yeah, that was 10 minutes and 30 seconds that one went.
It wasn't a long one.
that's it. Jeez, it felt like 20 minutes.
So Big Boss Man comes the hardcore champion. 4 for 4.
Yeah, we're all title changes tonight.
After that, that brings us to the Big Show versus Kane.
Woo!
And one of the things which I can't remember, I think it might have been Skylar that said it, which is, man, he's come a long way in 3 years. The Big Show from Hog Wild when we last left him.
Absolutely. Just in appearance, he looks just dense.
He is, he's like doubled in thickness.
Yeah, he was almost just kind of lithe, kind of svelte.
He was only
in
like
WCW.
26 at the time, right? But again, just like Midian, he looked like he was 40.
Yeah, Paul
that
White's
ponytail.
the same age for at least 25 years. But one thing I noticed that Big Show's music was leaps and bounds better than it is now. That the way that hit, like it had an emotional tie. When
Yes, that's what I was
wasn't
saying a couple
expecting
weeks
that
ago.
music to hit the way it was. Well,
Yeah, I was
now it's
definitely
just-
yelling along with it.
now it's just well,
Yes, I hate it.
and it's subtle difference, but it means the world to me.
I think the Big Show's outfit, his he had way too much butt cleft going on. There was way too much underbutt.
No,
Definitely.
I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I was struck by a little bit of underbutt.
There was a lot of underbutt.
How could you not? It's all you could see.
Hey, he's a thick boy. He can't. help-
Also,
I mean,
they
that's-
lied and said he was 7'2".
Did they really? He's always been
Yes.
7 foot, 7'5" hundo, right?
When they said that, I was like, bullshit.
Well, I think it's funny. Like, yeah, back then they were content to say that Undertaker was 6'10". Like, they didn't care to call him 7 foot. I thought that was kind of funny.
I thought he was,
There was-
just only 6'10".
Well, yeah, but usually they bill him as like 7 footers.
Oh, okay, yeah, true.
There was an
Kane
amazing military press that Big Show just
Yes.
picked Kane up, pressed him up like a barbell, and threw him out of the ring.
That was incredible.
I wrote that
was
down. That was impressive.
dead weight, and Kane
Breaking
took a
through.
hell of a bump off of it too. There wasn't much padding. You know, he didn't hit the way he was probably wanting to. He hit straight on his hip or his side. It was a thud.
Yeah, that was a crazy. Yeah, that match was only 8 minutes, but
That was a
they
big one.
Another dirty finish. Have we had a clean finish all night? Well, except D'Lo.
yeah.
Boss
Well,
Man
the
was
hardcore
kinda
match
clean.
was somewhat whatever. Hardcore matches are never clean.
Let's see. Yeah, we had the Hardcore Holly, the special ref.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Why were they calling him Hot Shot or something?
yeah. Big Shot.
Big Shot. Like, what the
I think
fuck?
just to kind of go against the Big Show.
Okay.
It's lazy.
Yeah,
But,
Holly screwed over Kane, and then
yeah.
X-Pac came in, and then Undertaker came in.
I
Undertaker
thought that was
came
so.
out- Yeah.
I thought that was so weird that Holly like screwed over Kane. Like if he was gonna do that, why wouldn't he just do it in like the first 30 seconds? Like I want to see those guys wrestle
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
good
yeah.
10
Just
minutes.
get
I
first.
want to give this guy that I'm helping a chance to lose.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Yeah, he goes for the chop block, ends up costing him the match, costing Kane the match, and Undertaker comes out.
Yep.
And what
X-Pac
oddly
comes
looks
out.
straight at the camera before he starts beating up Kane. Like, did any of you guys notice that he looked at the camera like Frankie Muniz, just like, this is what's happening, and then he just starts.
Yeah. Yeah. X-Pac came in to help Kane, and then Undertaker came in and just was beating the brakes off of X-Pac.
Why did you hate X-Pac so much?
Because
at
he's
that time?
little and he's Kane's friend. He's Kane's little
Yeah,
friend.
because he's Kane's
That
friend.
hug with Kane was so weird in that little promo. Whenever he hugged Kane, it was
But then, yeah, now Austin's found Taker,
I
So
found you,
Austin
bitch,
starts-
some bitch.
beating the hell out of Taker, and then Undertaker blades. So now
That was-
Undertaker's bleeding
that was
too.
from Austin's fist.
That was
Right.
that was the most blatant blade. He literally pulled a curtain over
Oh, no.
Undertaker's like top hat.
There's a way better blade at the end of the night here that is literally like 2 feet from the camera. on the
Really?
hard
I didn't
cam.
catch
Oh
it.
yeah.
Though I was demolishing some Taco Bell as I was finishing this, so I was a little distracted.
I was passing out at the end of the main event.
I think what's fun in between this match, JR and King are talking, and there's somebody behind them who's got a sign that is supposed to be a drawing of The Rock, but it's just like a fucking Sharpie, like just an outline. It's the worst drawing I've ever seen in my life. They should be ashamed to hold that up in front of people. Somebody wasted a piece of poster board.
I was looking for my note because I found the worst Austin drawing. It's at 2 hours and 19 minutes. I believe it's right before the main event. And good God, bless this guy's heart. He wanted to make his own sign, and he was doing really good at the bottom part of the body of Steve Austin. But you can tell as he got about chest level, he was like, "Oh shit, I'm running out of room."
I don't get a hand.
Those arms took a very unnatural curl at the top to fit those middle fingers. Oh God! Just open up the app, go to 219. I don't even care if you watch the event. It's not completely awful, and that makes it even better. I'm sorry.
Try and go buy it. You can buy it on eBay.
I'm going to go look at this right.
After that good match leads us into probably like the low point of the night for me, which was Ken Shamrock versus Steve Blackman, who I like both of those guys, in a, what the hell was it called?
Iron Circle.
They call it a parking lot brawl.
It was a bunch of shitty cars arranged in a circle in a parking garage.
I remember John Cena and Eddie Guerrero had a match like that on SmackDown.
I remember Jean-Claude Van Damme had matches like that. That's what I wrote. Somebody's watching way too many Jean-Claude Van Damme movies.
It probably wasn't filled with a bunch of the extra cars from like Police Academy movies. Like these were like sort of okay cars in the late 80s, and they just kind of stacked them in there and piled a bunch of wrestlers around. Who all was standing around?
I saw the back of Kurt Angle's
Sergeant
head.
Slaughter,
A-Train
Draws.
Might have been in there.
Viscera was in there. Yeah, A-Train was in there for sure.
Midian was there too.
Yes, he was.
Midian went and took his Metamucil, took him a little nap.
31.
Oh, I guess I can make an appearance.
Considering that this match did not even go 4 minutes long, I guarantee it took way longer to set this shit up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, to park all these cars in a circle, and I was laughing because they were honking their horns, and I was having flashbacks of Hog Wild.
Yes.
I was going, oh man, remember when we had to listen to this the whole fucking show?
Yeah, they were revving the engines and everything. It was just a little taste, so we didn't forget where we came from.
There was one shot where Sergeant Slaughter's thick ass was just totally blocking the action. You couldn't tell what was going on here. The camera was shit. There was a bunch of just they're trying to throw into it. Was just trying to look like a scene from a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Yeah, it was kind of like they were shoehorning in that 3-ring circus kind of appeal. They're just like, well, if you didn't like that, here's something completely different. You know,
I liked both of those guys. Yeah, I really liked Ken Shamrock. I thought he had a great run. But yeah, that was garbage.
Yeah.
I was having more fun seeing who was out there watching than watching the match.
Seriously.
Right.
Yeah, I was getting distracted just like trying to make out faces in the shadows.
Is that Joe Briscoe?
Next was the tag match, I think.
Yeah, next was Road Dogg and X-Pac versus Mr. Ass in China.
It was DX versus DX.
For the ownership of DX. That Billy Gunn ass.
Oh God, I hate Billy Gunn so much.
His ass.
He's an ass man.
His ass.
He's an ass man.
Bwah.
The greatest songs of all time.
I'm really enjoying watching these with my girlfriend around, who's just sometimes sees things out of context, like the ass man.
Yes. Yes, I will get my wife to look up from her book, and I'll be like, "Look at you, like his outfit? You like that outfit that he's got?" Like,
because he's.
I remember when I was a little kid and I first learned about Billy Gunn, my friend was calling him Mr. Ass. And we were like 7 or 8. I was like, whoa, you can say ass? And he was like, yeah, we're talking about Mr. Ass. So for like 15 minutes, I was all like, Mr. Ass, Mr. Ass. And my mom was like, all right, no, you can't say it anymore.
That's enough. I had the same kind of treatment in a church. You know, in a few Bible verses, you get to say ass. And those were always my favorite.
Yeah, that's like the Bart Simpson, like the little stinker's guide to Bible swearing.
Yeah.
Oh man,
you were like a Simpsons encyclopedia.
But that's a specific tier of wrestling fandom where you just kind of get grandfathered into Simpsons references. Like if you watch wrestling long enough, it's like the Matrix. It just kind of sucks in, and you just know all these.
There's a hidden overlap in the Matrix. I think it's funny because they keep saying that X-Pac probably shouldn't be out there because he might have a concussion from the Undertaker, but then they're just like, tee who cares?
That don't matter yet.
Yeah. At one point they say it and then they cut to him and he's got this dumbass look on his face. And King goes, look at the look on his face.
Oh Jesus!
I think that's funny. They just don't care.
Sean Waltman's got a oddly deep voice too. Every time I see him, I always expect him to just have a little bit higher pitch. He's got a deep, bassy voice.
All the drugs, cigarettes. Yeah.
Yep.
I think he sucked out China's testosterone.
Jerry the King Lawler keeps getting caught between like trying to sound like he knows what he's talking about with this, but then also saying stuff like, how could China possibly fight these men?
Ooh, I did see a lot of those. And JR did hit him back with
Xbox like 205. I mean, China had like 90 pounds on him. Fuck, like she was all muscle.
Oh, she was used to manhandling.
No normal, yeah. She was tough.
Was pre-manhandling X-Pac.
Oh yeah, this was
when she was manhandling Trips. No, I guess not.
Yeah.
What an uncomfortable sex scene that would be.
Mr. Ass got a great head squeeze a hold on at one point. I was laughing about that. That's a great devastating move, the head squeeze.
I just hate Billy Gunn the way he chews gum. Fuck that guy.
I can understand that.
It's unsanitary.
It's so bad.
Not needed. You just don't need to do that.
Oh man! And what was the chant that just kept on pissing? Was it asshole?
Yeah,
I think they kept on saying. Billy Gunn screamed very clearly, "Shut the fuck up!" at the crowd, and to which JR just adeptly remarked, "Billy Gunn don't like that chant. He don't like
that. I don't think he likes that." I was always a fan of the Road Dogg's juke and jive, little kind of punch combo thing he would do.
Yeah.
And then he would bounce off the ropes and do kind of like a bow-legged shuffle up to drop a knee.
It was fun.
I was simultaneously entertained and infuriated at Road Dogg the entire match.
Well, Beef, like think about that he's running SmackDown now.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why
Exactly.
I'm pissed off. Because
he's the one that cock teased me with Daniel Bryan versus
it was him.
Oh, BG, you're gonna fucking get it.
Yeah, man.
Get him in a head squeeze.
That dry humps X-Pac for a pump handle slam. Go to hell.
Yeah, he gets a couple. He always gets a couple of pumps in. But yeah, of course, Road Dogg and X-Pac win here and retain the rights to DX, which this is really like the death knell of DX at this point.
It really was.
I mean, it was on the I think Shawn Michaels is the commissioner at this point, so Triple H is getting his push.
Yep.
Like they're big time pushing the curtain call thing.
Oh yeah.
Crazy talking about that.
Before moving that, I forgot.
So yeah, I guess that leads us into the next match, which is Triple H versus The Rock.
Yeah,
the number one contendership.
Longest match of the night.
Oh, it's a great match. Yeah, this one goes 19 minutes.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah, this one was always one of my favorites.
I didn't even feel like
good.
It was
right.
But
no, it really didn't.
The Rock cuts a great promo before this where as he's going in, he turns to Michael Cole and says, "Huh, nice shirt, 25 cents."
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just
I-
unnecessary.
I showed my wife that promo and I was like, look at how young he looks. Like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah,
he was just so young.
He was
I think-
27 here.
yeah. JR says he was
Ugh.
27 in the
He was
match.
27 and Triple H is 29.
Man,
That's
Wait, they're
crazy to
both
me.
younger than Midian? Oh my God.
They
They probably still are.
Yeah.
I really like Triple H's music here. At this point, I like
that was
I
my
like the way it started. It was really I was like really kind of you could tell what it was right away.
Very
Yeah,
underappreciated intro song of his.
Yeah.
for sure.
This
I,
this was
there-
a
there was-
leather strap match.
Yeah.
Where the hell did that come from?
This
I
is
don't know.
Commissioner Shawn Michaels having fun, I believe, at Triple H's expense.
Probably, yeah.
Because
I
the whole
didn't-
lead up to this has been really building off the back of Triple H kind of breaking kayfabe and talking about the Madison Square Garden thing and how he got punished and how he's been fighting to get back to this spot. Like, you know, they really kind of broke tradition and really talked about that shit quite a bit to build up to this.
I had a favorite part of the match. It didn't really even have to do with wrestling. So The Rock and Triple H are on the outside, and The Rock goes and takes this woman's camera, snaps a picture, and tosses it back to her. I would
Yes.
pay ungodly amounts of money to find that picture.
I considered looking through Reddit to try and see if I could find that picture if it
Yes.
existed. Just
I'm sure it
because
does somewhere.
If he,
Nah,
yeah,
I
no,
bet
I
that
almost
lady
wondered-
lost that camera or something. It's like, oh yeah, I
Some
had
guy
those
beat her for it.
I forgot about
But
it.
yeah, part of me wondered if he even actually did it right, if he'd even taken a picture, because that would have sucked to have done that, and then you're like, oh yeah, but then like, oh, he didn't even take a picture.
Ah, he should have
Yeah,
pushed the little
true.
button and charged the flash. Damn it, Rocky! You pushed the little button.
I just remember when they were going through the crowd, this one old lady, like the level above, but you could still see her perfectly, was so happy and excited to see them
Yes.
fighting in
And
front of
She had
her.
a Stone Cold shirt on, if I recall.
I love that lady. I don't know why.
Yes,
she was
it
just so
like, yeah,
happy.
definitely like a age range. Yeah, she was into it for sure.
Yeah. I know Stone Cold and The Rock is like the big main rivalry, but I always loved Triple H versus The Rock. There was something about it like that was just special. Like the year before with SummerSlam and their ladder match, and it was always great to see those two go at it. So this one was always one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is a great match, man. There was
Yeah.
a funny point where Triple H, you know, they whipped each other out of the turnbuckle, and JR said, "The Rock just jerked Helmsley off." Like, he paused way too long before he said it. Like, okay, fun things, fun sound bites. I think this was funny because this was supposed to be a no DQ match, but then the first time that Billy Gunn came in, he snuck in. And
Yeah.
and then the second time he was just like, ah, fuck it, it's a no DQ. I don't care. Like
Right.
it's
Man,
just
Billy
weird.
Gunn did nail him in the head with whatever little club that was.
Dude,
Like
for
it
real,
was
yeah.
some impact. I don't know if it was gimmicked or not, but it shook me.
I think that match like that would be really hard because I definitely noticed they spent a lot of time getting their feet caught in the strap.
Yeah.
That was probably like a
Yeah.
really, really dangerous match to have for sure.
Yeah, you got to
Yeah,
think about where that thing is in every move. You don't want to drop somebody with their full body weight, wrap that thing around your neck.
They took
And
some
even-
shots with that belt too.
Yeah,
Oh
they
yeah,
did.
the
Hit
shots were
hard.
hard, heavy shots. Yeah.
They were making me hurt.
Even when they were down on the ground, they would get like wrapped up in the strap, and they would have to pretend like, oh, I'm passed out, but let me just undo the strap from my feet. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, and then Triple H just straight up took it off, and the ref was just like, "Hey, you should
All
definitely
right.
put that thing back
Hey,
on."
put that back on you.
Yeah, there's just no sense of urgency in that shit.
Yeah,
Well, it is a no DQ, so I can't really make you.
Yeah, you just sternly suggest you put it back on. Yeah, Triple H goes over here, beats The Rock.
Yeah, number one
which is-
contender.
I mean, the Rock was over as hell here.
Yeah, that was back when
real.
Triple H going over was like a big deal. Like it was something surprising.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely the crowd was not expecting it.
Yeah, they weren't expecting. They didn't want it.
no, they did not.
Yeah,
Well,
this leads us into the main event.
On to it.
They do a funny, not funny, but they do a package before this that shows all the lead up to this. I had to fuck Austin Blades a lot.
Yeah.
I really forgot how many times that he had bladed. I mean, it's at least 5 times just in that promo that they showed, not counting the 2 times he does it tonight.
Yeah, and he doesn't have a scalp to hide that in. Like he
Crazy.
can't really run along the scalp with him.
So yeah, this is Stone Cold versus The Undertaker for the title in a first blood match. And the further stipulation is that if Stone Cold loses, he can never challenge for the world title again. But if Stone Cold wins, Mr. McMahon will never appear on television again.
And
So
we've
there's
never seen him
riding
since.
on this. Yeah. he was a guarantee. Yeah, there was a lot going on in this match.
Yeah,
Undertaker was looking thick.
He was.
I don't remember that music either.
Oh, I loved Ministry Take.
Yeah,
Even
that
though I
was
didn't watch
great.
wrestling at the time. He's still like my favorite version of the Undertaker.
Yeah, that music always got me hyped.
They did a thing where they showed them before they came out, before the music started, which I thought was different. I'd never really seen. I don't remember. Well, not never seen it, but I don't really remember seeing the Undertaker before you heard his music.
Right.
Yeah, they definitely built that whole vibe around him, and I think it kind of crested in about the time that I was becoming a real wrestling fan. I didn't ever see this side of Undertaker. Like that kind of play along with the man Undertaker. What gives, Undertaker?
Yeah,
It was me, Austin.
Yeah, and
that's son of a bitch.
That's something. Yeah, before the match even starts, Vince McMahon hobbles out and sits down ringside to commentate and just offer his fucking carny reactions to everything.
Man,
I wrote in my notes. He was trying so hard not to go full Vince commentary from back in the day.
His face is like they cut to him and he does the vaudeville like visual gulp.
He does. It's such a Little Rascals like gulp.
the seeing stars from the punch that he's just all on the ground.
That is the perfect description. It's vaudeville, old stage habits.
For sure. For sure. I mean, yeah, that's a nicer way than saying he's a carny.
Still is
somewhat offensive. But yeah, so I mean, like Austin is well, God, who knows? Sorry to all carnies. I'll apologize in advance. To Carney Wilson, I apologize.
Wilson Phillips reference. Wow,
I did it.
We've done it all.
Yep. But yeah, so Austin comes out. I mean, he's already been allegedly stitched up and got a big bandage on his forehead. Undertaker has supposedly been stapled up and has a cut on his hairline. And so every time they're hitting each other, they have to keep putting their hand up and seeing if they're bleeding or not. That's something I thought was funny.
Which I think, like the finish of the match, like I think they did that so well.
Oh, definitely.
Like they weren't gonna risk, like if they were gonna bleed, like, all right, this was like their safeguard for if they actually got fucking hard cut.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it was just such a genius way of doing that, which you just don't see nowadays.
And it puts so much pressure on the match that you had been building up that it's like, look, anything could make it happen at this point. Like all they really have to do is get a hold of each other, which they were choosing not to. But
right.
At one point, Undertaker threw the ring steps out of the barricade into the crowd, and that was crazy.
Dangerous as fuck.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
Nuts.
I wrote that was dangerous as fuck. That's crazy.
He didn't give
cannot imagine them doing that ever again.
Yeah, this match kind of built as it went. Like at first, I was like, "Wow, why am I not having more fun watching this match?" And then as it just kind of fell apart, like I was like, "Oh, okay." Like you start to see some of that intensity.
Yeah, well, they had to really kind of slow build because they couldn't, they didn't want to go because like Austin, they're going, oh, Austin's blocking, and it's like, well, yeah, he's fucking blocking. He doesn't want to get busted out of things. Yeah, this was a great back and forth between them. I mean, Taker was in great shape at that point.
Yeah, which was nice to see. It was nice to see him not hobbling everywhere. He was pretty thick and old, but
Roman Reigns thick though.
He was looking well. He was looking well fed.
Yeah.
Texas boy, cornbread fed.
So eventually, Shane comes out and takes a wicked chair shot to the head.
Ooh.
Was he the
Chair shots to
first?
head make me
Was he
cringe
the
now.
first one to come mess things up?
Yes, I think
There's so
so.
many so fast. I couldn't
Right.
keep track.
He was.
Yeah, and then Austin gets out and Vince gets up and Austin lays him out, which is pretty funny. And then Vince gets a stunner,
Of
That's
course.
tradition.
and
As Vince does.
then Earl Hebner gets shoved. Taker shoves Earl Hebner into the corner, and that knocks him out for a little while.
God,
That's
the
tradition.
referees are so
Yep.
fragile. They just take a little bit of a shove.
Yes,
Poor guys.
They're
That-
done.
and-
I
yeah,
used to be so
and
scared to be pushed around as a kid because WCW referees almost died.
they're so delicate.
They're so ripped nowadays. Like they can't really do that
They
because all
look
the
like
refs are like
wrestlers.
just as fit. Yeah.
When Lil Nate was young, I thought he was a child. Why did somebody rescue him?
Yeah, now they look tattooed and tan,
Yeah.
Oh man, that one dude in
They're-
NXT is so freaking tan.
ridiculously
Damn.
tan.
It pisses me off how
Um,
dark he is. No, I'm just kidding.
So yeah,
It's tan.
while Hebner's down, Austin hits Taker and busts Taker open, but that doesn't stop Taker, and he ends up getting Austin up and getting ready to tombstone him as Earl Hebner kind of gets his wits about him, and Earl calls off the match as declares Austin the winner right then and there.
Yeah.
So,
you gotta-
yeah,
you gotta
Austin-
ring
It goes crazy.
Yeah, Austin was bleeding too. So like, when he's in that tombstone position, he couldn't see, which I thought was fucking genius. Like,
Oh, I didn't catch that Austin was already busted open.
Yeah, he was
Well,
bleeding
just
too,
a little
but
bit. He was only
Yeah.
bleeding a tiny bit at that point because he actually blades right after that.
right. But like just that amount of blood, like it was hidden because his head was in Taker's crotch. But what a great way to fucking hide it
Yeah.
and then have the ref be like, "Oh shit, you're bleeding. Game over."
It was a good ending to a good match.
Yeah.
And it is I was saying at 2:41 minutes and 38 seconds, they show Austin on the apron, and they're literally they're like 2 feet away from him, 100% blades, and then he falls down and he kind of puts his hand under the ring, and that's when he's getting rid of the blade.
Yeah, ditching it.
And then a second later he's covered.
Imagine that.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, Shane comes out and spoils all the fun, and then it's just like a deluge of people. And let's see, pretty much every match just kind of cashes in on itself. What did it was? Did X-Pac run out? Who from
Yeah,
the
I
X-Pac?
think Billy
12
Gunn was out
times
there
already.
too.
Yeah, Billy Gunn, China. No, China didn't. I can't even keep
Oh,
track of
Triple
everybody.
H came out for sure.
Yeah,
That's
Triple H
what
Yeah,
it
Triple H
was.
came out there, and The Rock came out.
Yeah, pretty much everybody who had beef with each other that night was the
Yep.
big names were out there ringside settling it still, and it was just a fun payoff with everybody. It was just chaos.
Yeah, lots of like Triple H and The Rock kind of got out of the ring and brawled their way out of there, and then Austin went for a handshake on McMahon and then gave him another stunner.
As is
Yeah.
tradition.
Yeah, as they were the commentary guys talking it up. Vince McMahon, this is the company his grandfather built, and he has to step away now. And Austin just barely got his feet under him, extending that bloody, nasty hand. And Vince McMahon's face, he was just like,
Yeah.
"Oh,"
That
Oh,
shaky
me?
hand, that shaky unsure hand goes up.
and he goes to take it like he hasn't eaten stunner after stunner. You look at a bloody Stone Cold, and you're like, "Oh, yeah, this is it. This is the moment we turn." You fucking asshole. You deserve every stunner. But
Yeah.
it takes a stunner, both birds in the air, man. It was great.
Yes,
It
it
was
ends-
everything the era was.
It ends
Yes.
with great shot of Stone Cold covered in blood with the title up in the air, hanging middle fingers, and that's exactly what the 1999 was.
Yeah, yeah. And I just like to say, you're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
Yeah.
what are we?
That's
How are
right.
we gonna beat this? I gotta
Get ready
find.
because fucking next week we're watching David Arquette win the title. Fuck you guys.
See, I wanted to go bad
Fuck
again.
you
I
guys.
wanted to go.
No, I
wanted
swear
to go-
God.
I'm gonna make
What was
Skylar watch that WCW 2001. That's like chlorine to his
Sin.
eyes.
Oh, God.
I wanted to go like maybe was it Bash at the Beach when the
Ooh, there you
mailman
go.
Carl Malone was.
Oh, I'd watch that.
Oh, yeah.
There's one where Jay Leno wrestled.
Yeah, Jay Leno versus it was Jay Leno and DDP,
Hogan. Yeah, Jay Leno and
Yeah.
DDP versus Hogan and
Hogan and
Hogan and
Rodman.
Rodman.
Rodman?
Yeah,
Was
Dennis
Carl
Rodman.
Malone and
Yeah.
Rodman?
Might have been Malone.
Maybe both also.
It was
Oh,
garbage.
Leno wrestled too, though.
Yeah, it was hot
I
garbage.
think he was
Yeah,
after.
did also.
In-
I think
in
Dennis
air quotes.
wrestled both matches.
Do you use quotes when you're saying that? He wrestled.
Yeah.
You can't
right.
see
He like
it, but
swing a
we're doing it,
punch.
I
Yeah.
think there may have been a Leno Bischoff kind of thing.
Yeah,
I
I
may
think
be getting
so.
crossed up, but
But
I think
this
either.
is this is a really fun thing to. This is a really fun format. I love watching these things. I love talking to you guys about it. Like it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
it's great.
The differences we see is just it's like the overall presentation. Did you guys notice when they cut away to like backstage, there wasn't that weird like 3 or 4 second pause after the action stops? Like when somebody
Yeah.
walks off camera and you've got, say Renee Young standing there on camera and there's like 4 or 5 just seconds of them on camera doing like, I don't know if they're going for
Fighting
like
her
a-
lip in confusion.
Yeah, like a soap opera
Yeah.
reaction shot.
Page
What are we
here.
doing? It was just a tighter production, this fully loaded compared to any of the recent stuff that I've seen.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know
was-
what's
It
changed.
was well done.
Sure. Well, I think going forward, we might do some comparisons, and we'll watch a WCW event and then see what WWE was doing at the same exact time, and see how
Watch
those kind of
ECW
start
too.
differing. And ECW too. Whatever whatever you guys want to do too.
Yeah, and I like the idea of putting up putting up a poll.
Yeah.
Like Skylar had a really cool setup of doing a good one, doing a bad one. Maybe having a pay-per-view to review and then having a poll for another pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like
Take it to the
that setup.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of taking it to the people, man, we're on the Facebook. I don't know
That's
if
right.
everybody listening knows we're on the Facebook, trying to be more communicative and sharing the hell
Yeah.
out of some memes, maybe.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check us out. We're on Facebook. I keep almost wanting to say the Facebook. It was a joke one time, and I got sucked into it.
On the
Uh,
Googles. Type the Googles in the Facebook.
We're on Facebook at The Shoot Show. Look us up. Also, if you're in the market for other podcasts, check out the One Fall Show. There's been a little back and forth going on. There's been a little discussion. Some dude named Dr. X is talking a lot of noise using the One Fall Show. Those nice guys over there. They give great commentary week to week. They're very
Yeah.
current on the WWE programs. I love their takes on things.
He's taking advantage of their kindness, is what he's doing.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what he's doing. This Dr. X sees an in. He
I want to
knows.
see that degree.
I want to see.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know
where he
about that.
stands.
I guarantee if you turn it over, it's like a Denny's placemat.
If you're not up to date on the shoot show drama that's going on, there's a character out there, and he's coming at the shoot show. He's throwing a lot of shade our way, and he's not an umbrella, so that's not okay.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah,
He's our
called-
Hydra.
He said, I think he said we were stupid. He said the hosts were
He
stupid.
looks stupid.
The S word.
I'm as mad as
Not
I've
cool.
ever
Not cool.
Tyler is seething right now.
been. I'm
But I
definitely
would
not
like to just
slipping into
invite-
bed.
I would like to invite Dr. X to speak with us directly. Since
Yeah,
we've heard from
Quit
this
hiding behind
freaking-
your friends.
since we've heard from this freaking miscreant, we've set up a line of communication. Now
We
is
have.
live would be the shoot show hotline. If you, Dr. X, we're speaking directly to you. If you want to call in, say something directly to us, the number is 4132 I shoot. That's 413-247-4668. And that invitation is open to anybody else.
Yeah,
If you got
but I bet
something
you
to say
don't.
about the
Call
shoot
it.
show.
Yeah, I bet you don't.
Yeah, I
I'm
hope
gonna
you
drunk
do.
dial it
Actually,
all the time.
I've been looking at my phone kind of longingly. It hasn't rang. It loops
It
into
goes
my
to your
cell phone.
phone.
It's
No,
me
no, no.
every time.
It loops into my cell phone. I get notifications. It'll ring. I could pick up and talk to you if I
Oh shit!
wanted
I'm
to.
gonna call drunk one day, and you're gonna pick up. And be like, oh shit!
I-
And hang up real fast.
I left one the other day while I was at work.
Tyler's been leaving some very suggestive messages. And I played one, and my girlfriend was sitting very close to me, and there was a line of questioning after, and you've caused nothing but problems, Tyler.
That's what I do. I'm a
But in all
seductor.
seriousness, anybody listening, if you have anything you'd like to say, any kind of
Yeah.
feedback, comments, what you like, what you don't like, what you want us to do, what we're not doing, you wish we did.
Are we too offensive, Tyler?
Yeah, are we
Yeah.
too offensive?
Not
And,
enough Heidenreich.
do any little people listen to the show? They
Yeah,
can't-
call that
can't-
number. Leave us a message. Maybe even just cut a promo on us. That would be fine.
There you
We
go.
would love to broadcast that. Make you a part of the shoot show. One more time, the number is 413-247-4668 or 4132-I-SHOOT. I want to hear from you. Do it.
Love it.
Do it.
Yes, sir.
Well, I think that's it for all of us.
This
Yeah,
was
my
this
ears
was a
hurt
lot of
from these
fun.
headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We'll put up a poll soon. We'll get the next one picked up, and I think this is a fun format. Tyler, you're so damn good at
Yeah, you
disseminating and finding the fun things for us. And maybe the people will pick as good of one as Sean did.
There you go.
Yes.
I hope we get lots of voicemail recommendations.
Yeah, well, and I mean, we can really just leave it out, anything if they want us to watch anything on the network. I mean, there's some really old stuff, I don't
Watch
care.
Table for 3 and review it.
Yeah, oh yeah, any
You
wrestling
just-
thing. Not we don't want somebody say
Yeah.
Camp WWE.
Oh no! I tried it. I didn't enjoy it.
Not
Me
fun.
neither.
Well,
But
guys,
yeah,
I believe
that was
this
the
has been a
shit show.
yeah.
There it is.
It's been a pleasure once again. Everybody, join us next week. We're gonna be back. We'll shoot the show with you.
Oh, say Rascal.
Oh God,
yeah.
who was it? There was a rascal. Maybe. I think Midian was the rascal of the week. We're gonna
Oh,
say
There you
Midian.
go. Oh, I love it.
Yes,
Rascal of the Week.
is Midian.
Katie, Katie, did you listen long enough to hear it?
Oh yeah, we gotta appreciate our big fan, Katie.
Yeah. Now everyone's got to wait
She's
till
gonna
the end
be
for
on
the
here
Rascal of the
soon.
Week.
Yeah, we love you, Katie.
All right,
Thank
guys,
you.
take it easy.
Yep. All right,
Until
boys.
next time.
Yep. Good talking to
Bye.
you.
You too.
Dudes.